Number 7, I want to talk about nightwear. So what we wear, because a lot of people, up to 80%, 70, 80%, and it's funny that some of these figures differ depending on different sites that you go onto, but it's high is the point. Between 70 and 85% is what I've been getting on a lot of recognized really good sites. Women that have night sweats. Now, they do have the hot flashes during the daytime as well, but the hot flashes at nighttime is what interrupts our sleep. So many of you may experience this, waking up drenched in sweat during the nighttime. Your clothes are soaked right through, and then your sheets and everything. You have to get up and change your clothes in the middle of the night. And sure, you're awake then. You know, you're awake and you're moving around, and it's very difficult to get back to sleep. But the good news is there is a lot that you can do to alleviate or reduce these night sweats by actually choosing the right nightwear and bed clothing as well. Many of you may have heard of Christine Northrup. She's the author of The Wisdom of Menopause. She's a very big health advocate, especially in the women's health area. And she says that these night sweats are happening as a result of estrogen and progesterone. So these are the two female hormones. They start to decline in uneven amounts. So they do naturally decline. They decline for everybody, all the women, but it's the uneven amounts that causes these problems. And what's significant about this is one of our key influencers of our circadian rhythm is our body temperature. And our body temperature has to cool down to allow us to sleep at nighttime. So when we're getting hot, this is what's waking us up, and it's confusing the body. So lightwear and breathable. So there's lots of different types of fabrics that we can use, but it's natural fibers that we want to use. Now there's silk and cotton, but they can actually hold the moisture, which can end up getting cold, and it's very uncomfortable during the nighttime. So sometimes a poly cotton blend might be good, but sweat wicking natural fabrics is what is the best. And what do I mean by that? Well, natural fibers like bamboo or hemp, linen, wool. Now, when I'm talking about wool, there's a lightweight wool. God, I can't remember the name of it now. There is a lightweight wool. It's very good for regulating temperature. And I think we're all individuals, so I think it's a case of trial and error. So trying what works for you best. Some people like cotton. I actually like cotton. My night sweats aren't too severe, so cotton works for me. It's nice and fresh, and it's lightweight. And if you don't want the fabric to be too tight, you don't want to have too much. So if you hold it up to the sun or the sunlight, and you can see, the more sunlight you can see through, that's the more breathable it is. Now, our mattresses and our sheets, it's very important that they're very breathable. So maybe latex, but there's lots of new technology with mattresses that allow more breathable. It's allowed them to be more breathable now these days. Stay away from memory foam, because memory foam retains heat. So stay away from memory foam, especially if you have the night sweats. Another thing that I came across actually is a Tata towel. So look that up on the internet. It's TATA, a Tata towel. It's like a boob tube. That's kind of a towel material, because in around the boob areas, right? If you're blessed with big boobs, or maybe some too big might be an inconvenience as well. But when you're lying, all the skin is folding over each other, and this is where the sweat kind of seems to accumulate. So these boob tubes can help with the night sweats, especially in this area. So you can look up tatatowels.com, I think it is. Just look it up on the internet. I don't know if it's an American site or whatever, but just to see it. And they have a few other different things as well, so that might help. But I use a small hand towel, and I just literally shove it up there if I'm, there may be a few nights in the month that I experience more night sweats. And it's just something so simple, because this can cause an anxiety in itself. And when we have anxiety during the nighttime, cortisol kicks in. And once cortisol kicks in, this is our stress hormone. This is our wake up hormone. So we need to really keep the anxiety down as much as possible. Okay, so hope some of those things help. So another thing that you can do during the nighttime is bring a glass of water to bed, which is filled with ice. So you can use that to help you cool down at nighttime as well. So we move on to the next tip. So tip number 8, this is really super important. So a lot of questions I get asked as well, you know, what do we do with all these, the decline with estrogen? Because estrogen actually plays a big role. It's not just in, you know, the female, you know, having babies and the menstrual cycles and all this. Your estrogens play a big role in your brain health as well. And I'm going to go into that in more depth in my masterclass next week, which we will be telling you about at the end. But estrogens play a big role in many different factors. But we can also get estrogen from our foods. So if we eat a Mediterranean diet in particular, so vegetables that contain phytoestrogens can really help. Olive oil, omega-3s, this can really help our hormonal health and brain health as well. And there's been lots of scientific studies that show the phytoestrogens can help with this decline. It's really this big decline, a sudden decline in these estrogens that cause all these severe symptoms. Also, Mediterranean foods, there is a scientific paper. Actually, I have it there on the slide. There is a paper there that shows that Mediterranean foods can help with the vasomotor symptoms. So this is the hot flushes. This is the blood vessels opening and closing and the body temperature. So Mediterranean foods can help to modulate that so that we don't get severe hot flashes. So there's another good reason to eat Mediterranean foods. And it's healthy for us as well. We've got all our minerals and vitamins in there and omegas and everything that we need. They can also help with weight loss as well. Weight gain is a big factor with menopausal women as well. So Mediterranean diet has just been shown to improve many factors involved in midlife, depression and anxiety as well. So these foods are great for brain health as well, which will help with depression and anxiety. And we do know that we do have lower levels of serotonin and dopamine as we head into midlife as well. So these foods can help with that as well. So there's a lot going on there with the foods that we're eating. So have a look at the Mediterranean diet. If you don't want to look that up or whatever, just eat vegetables. Vegetables, they're rich in phytoestrogens. So we move on to tip 9. So exercise is super important. And as I